draw very thin rectangles, but that is going to be straight. And it will start from this point. So this oval and a horizontal line below that we had drawn, between these two. Okay, just draw till the end, but do not touch the last line. Okay, do not touch the last line, just leave it over there. But here it will be touching your oval of the rocket, and it's gonna be a very thin rectangle. Same thing on the other side also. I will draw and then I will keep the notebook a little closer. Now is the time for the dotted line to be told goodbye. And I have to erase very carefully because I have drawn very dark. And I don't know why am I singing. Right. And now whichever part has to be darkened, whichever part has to be highlighted, we are going to do that now. So you all can take your black color pencil or blue color pencil, but the dark one. You can take red also. You can take green also. Whichever color, any dark color, whichever color you want your rocket to be. So I'm going to take black pen of mine. Okay, so that difference between the two can be seen. First, remember this teeny mini oval that we had drawn on the top? You will draw little fat lines in a slanting way. I will draw it over here and then show it to you. Yes, do it with color pencil. Now, remember the two teeny mini window type we drew at towards the outside of the oval? Just draw horizontal two lines and make that darker. So we will first begin with the vertical lines, not fat, thin, two vertical lines. To make it look like the bars that we have, the grill bars that we have in windows. Okay, and thin, equally distanced slanting lines inside the. I will just move my hand, give me a second. There. Fine, that's also nice. Okay, now we will move to the bottom part. Yes, bacha. Now in the bottom part, let's make horizontal lines and then we will make that into check lines. Okay, so 4 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines on the right side and 2 vertical lines on the left side. I will just move my hand like this. Now very thin lines, just below that line where we did the checks right now, just the space below that, just go very thin lines with your color pencil and they will be drawn very close. I will just show it to you. See, this is how close it has to be drawn. Right. One second. Now the bottom part, just shade it with your color pencil in vertical way. Okay, just shade it like this. Both the sides. But we will still leave the absolute bottom part. Okay, I will show it to you. Okay, so I'm going to just shade this part. And we'll just, with my pen, you guys are using color pencil, you all can use color pen, and you can just make this rectangle, the box kind thing, just the outline dark. Now we are left with these two ovals. Now this oval, the bottommost oval, will be exactly same how we drew the slanting lines in the centered oval one. Okay, so just thin slanting lines. And for the pointed one, you will just draw one vertical line like this in center, and then you will take your black color pencil or whichever dark color pencil that you are using, or if you are using black color pencil just for shading for the drawing purpose, then use your pencil with which you were drawing and shade on each side in slanting direction. So this side I go from center to side, and here also I go in the other direction. Violet, yes. See, the reason we shade in two different directions is so that we get like a pointed, like a pyramidal kind of a shape. Absolutely. Now just the way we have done slanting line in these two thin areas, slanting line in these two thin rectangles. I will move my hand, I know it might be blocking. Okay. Okay, so we will begin with the shading from the top, from this top. Okay, in this, hold your color pencil far off. Janvi and I am using the pencil because Janvi, you are using black color pencil, right? So you will use your pencil for shading purpose. Now the side, you will just very light shading like this. I will show it to you all. Okay, now this small window that we have on top, not inside the window, below the window, in slanting way like this. Just below the window. Now let's move to the center oval. In this you have to do nothing. You have to just make the oval little dark. I will again bring the notebook closer. Don't worry. You will just make the oval dark, and just like on the top we did for the window, in this also top of the window and bottom of the window. Okay, same thing for both sides, for top and bottom. Excuse my little tera-mera lines. There. Okay, you just make them dark. Correct. Now these in the thin triangle, in the thin rectangle, we drew these slanting lines. Now alternate ones you are going to shade. So we are going to shade alternate. So we'll shade the first one. We are going to leave the second one. We are going to shade third. Fourth one will be left. Then fifth, seventh. So every alternate space you are going to shade, basically fill in. Same thing on this side also. Make sure that you fill in the first one, which is touching your rocket. Right? So the ones that we are leaving empty are actually the ones that is kind of a hole which allows the wind to pass easily. Right. Now we are left with these two side candle type ovals. Same thing what we did with this, the bottom part of the rocket, the bottom oval and the cylindrical rectangle. Same thing, we will make the lines in this as well as in this. So what we are going to do is thin slanting lines, fill up this and darken this. Thin slanting lines, fill up this and slanting line. The two candle types, and this extended part that we have, just fill that completely dark. So I will fill it up and then I will show the drawing to you all closely. Yes dear, 1 second. Yes, correct. Right. So this is how you will. Now let's darken the main rocket. And that should be a thick, fat, broad line. With the dark color pencil. The one that you are using. The dark color pencil, the one that we are using. If you are using dark blue, then with dark blue. If you are using green, then with green. Violet, then violet. If you are using black and pencil, then black. If you are using red and black, then you can either make it with red or with black. If you have done the shading with black, then with red, or if you have done the shading with red, then with black. There is your rocket ready.